Hey team, how's it going? Welcome back to the Average Jacks podcast. This week I am joined by my very good friend, a big part, an integral part of the Average Jacks podcast, my website, pretty much everything. The guy is my sounding board. We've got the wonderful Joe Baker joining us today. Joe is a coach. He comes from an S&C background. He's a personal trainer. But now he's made the move into web design and work. Today is that discussion about him making that transition, his experience, where he is today and how he got there. And we just dive into some stupid topics. I hope you enjoy it. It's a bit of a silly one. It was filmed in person, which is really nice. It's the first time we've done this. So check out the video. It's just me and Joe, just having a chat like we normally would. We talk a lot about Winston Churchill for the reasons that you probably wouldn't imagine. It was an eventful one for sure. Hope you enjoy. Check out Joe's socials down below. That did not come out well. Check out Joe's socials down below. I'll link them all in the description. As always, a massive favour that I ask of you guys. It's dead easy and it's free. If you want to leave a review for the podcast, that helps me massively. There's no charge on yourself, but it does help promote the podcast across whatever platform you're listening on. If you want to know a little bit more about myself, you can head over to www.jackmckeenan.co.uk. Check out the book, check out why I'm doing what I'm doing. You can find all my socials and you can sign up to my weekly newsletter, The Q, 3 minutes a week, and hopefully can give you the cue for the new habit that can create a better life for yourself. And for this episode, I'm really proud to announce that we're sponsored by the brilliant Viribus Strength. Viribus are an apparel company. They have the best stuff out there. It's high quality, it's comfy, it's durable. I use their bag every day. It's a staple of just my setup. I have a couple of them, and honestly, I've used others. I've used the names that you can think of, but none come close to these guys. If you do want to check them out, we've got an exclusive 20% off for our listeners. If you go to checkout and use the code AverageJack, that'll get you 20% off, and it'll help support the podcast as well. So, without further ado, here's today's podcast with my very good friend, Joe Baker. See ya.
Angle. That's fucking joke. Yeah, but yeah, I'm happy with the angle.
Yeah.
That was awful.
They died.
Immediately. Casting on the couch.
Would not be a lot of room between us. Not for two large gentlemen like
that.
There's a cafe near. I want to get in touch and do the boy a favour. Link me up with some free caffeine. That'd be great. How are we, lad?
Good, mate.
We're here.
Nerves all of a sudden.
Because millions of people are going to watch it.
Oh my god.
It is a bit weird, isn't it, when you think that, like, this is just a conversation that me and you have probably every day.
Yeah.
But now you
put a camera there and a mic and it's
you're very aware that.
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, you're like, God, what if I say something that is going to ruin generations of my family name?
Oh my god. Well, we'll see how it goes, anyway.
Yeah, well, you're here. I mean,
play.
Not many people will know that this is as much your brain baby as it is mine. You came up with the name after a few Guinness in an Irish bar.
God, yeah.
A lot of Guinness in an Irish bar.
Came up with it, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's when, like, the seed was planted. It was literally the juice of the Guinness and the juice of the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here we are.
Best combo.
Dangerous combo.
Yeah.
Did not feel great the day after.
No.
As you never do. Get it
inspired.
Inspired, but also
rough.
Yeah. Pretty bad, to be fair. Yeah, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. But I mean, it's been good so far. It's been something I'm glad I've done. Interesting. Had your lovely missus on the other day.
Yeah.
Smashed it.
Yeah.
Natural.
She did well, to be fair.
She did.
She was pretty happy with it. She's like, as you were saying, it's a classic sort of doubting herself sort of thing. You never know, do you?
No.
But like I was telling you this morning, she's had messages saying, "Oh, I've listened to it, loved it, glad to see you doing well." So,
Class in it. I think you just need sometimes that reassurance that you're not chatting or waffling shit. I know I get that a lot when I'm doing this, but I do chat a lot of shit and waffle. So it's it's difficult to sort of pull yourself in sometimes.
Yeah.
People are scared of pauses.
Yeah.
And they're important to have.
Yeah, you need to think, don't you? But afterwards she said, I don't even know what I've just said.
It's a whirlwind.
No, what she said. I think I've said something all right in there, but so when we got it and watched it back, she was actually really happy.
Good.
But you've got something good here, you've got, obviously with the book and everything like that, it's you're building it up, aren't you? Yeah. But it's still early.
It is early. It's very early. And it's sort of, I was talking to somebody else about it a couple of weeks ago, and it was like, you never know when it's going to give, you know what I mean? You just got to keep showing up and doing it. And I suppose when it's something you enjoy, as cliche as it is, it doesn't particularly feel like work, just something I enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean, I like talking to people.
Yeah.
And I've said it 1,000 times. People who've probably listened to the podcast now are sick of me saying it, but the worst thing I could have done was write a book first, because that's just not my wheelhouse.
No.
This, on the other hand, just chatting shit with people, is definitely in mine.
You do that anyway.
Yeah, I do that on a daily basis.
It takes time and it compounds, doesn't it? And it's like that, what that Chris Williamson was saying. He said in the last 3 months he's had more subscribers than he did in the first 5 years.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with your tweets, you're banging them out. Instagram, TikTok, podcast now, it just takes off, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it's sort of, you learn how to become more efficient like you do with anything. So now the podcast now is a big thing because it's great for content. So as opposed to me having to sit and scratch my head and sort of look across the board for inspiration of what to, post, and is that the right thing to post? Should I be posting this? Will it do well? But now you've got these sort of natural conversations that can just be chipped and clipped down, and then you can just post them on. And I mean, they do really well, because I suppose it's an insight. Not everybody's into long form.
No.
When this is, long form, it requires sort of an iota of dedication to sort of get through it. So when you can do that in bite-sized chunks and sort of, the clip animated for, mate, I've been posting clips. I've been posting clips of sections and thinking, yes, fucking, I meant me.
Yeah.
And then she's like, just throwing this together. And I was like, this is so sick. She's just thrown it together. That would take me days. But that's what you need. You need that inspiration.
She does that every day.
Yeah, it's reps in it.
Every day for multiple different businesses. Every single day she'll make videos like that. Obviously mainly of food.
Yeah.
But it all follows the same thing. It's the hook, it's the story, and then it's like the call to action at the end. That's the structure of everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
So whenever you're making content, that's what you need. That's what you need to follow. Otherwise, because TikTok brain nowadays is a real thing, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
It's just dangerous. So when it comes to long form, it's harder to grow. But I think people are getting more interested in it, aren't they?
Yeah.
With nowadays, people, it's growing the fact that people are educating themselves instead of just relying on school or uni and everything like that. So things like this are perfect, but you need to make those reels and those TikToks and stuff. And obviously that's what she does that all the time.
Yeah, it's just second nature, and it's like riding a bike. You can just do it without even thinking.
Yeah, but you're also just speaking and you're just writing what you want to write and everything like that. People wait until they've got the perfect product and everything or service to start promoting it, but just start producing things, start talking on long form, start writing long form, and then you just find your voice. You end up finding what you like speaking about, what you don't like speaking about, what you know, what you don't know. And then it's up to you then to go with your strengths and what you find it easy to write about. And then, for anyone who wants to start, their own business or anything like that, start building your personal sort of brand now, because then, like I said, Jay, you find your own voice and you find what you like talking about, what you're good at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely, because I think it's similar to this. I mean, shout out John Cunningham, the GOAT, who like taught me into sort of, because he's got his podcast and that, and he hosted the first one.
Yeah.
And like, I was a bit sort of imposter syndrome, which I've talked about before, something I suffer with, and I was like, fucking hell, why would anyone want to listen to anything I have to say? And you'd look at these people, you know, like Chris Williamson, Joe Rogan, Jordan Peterson, Lex Fridman, them with a massive podcast, you know what I mean? Massive thousands, probably millions of listeners. And you think, God, what is little old me going to do on that? But like you said, you've just got to start. You know, you don't know where you're going to go from that point. And John said something to me, and it's always literally stuck in my head, especially about podcasting. He's like, there's this perceived like entry level, right? But that barrier to get into it, but there's not. You just need a microphone and something to record yourself. And that sort of reassured me from that point. I was like, yeah, fuck it. Let's may as well go for it and see where we go. To be fair, I think you like something if you'd wished you'd have done it sooner. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good frame.
Yeah, and I'm like, if you've come into something and you're like, fuck, I wish I'd done that a year, 2 years sooner, I think you're on to a winner there, sort of thing. But speaking of just getting into it and getting started, talk us a bit about what you're doing at the minute.
Yeah. So basically, a bit of web design, really. So I've been your man in the chair.
You have.
Sort of thing, which I've been playing with for a while. I've been sort of probably just over a year, been learning web design, email marketing, stuff like that. So I'm about to go into the big bad wide world at the minute now. So I've built your website, I built Anna's. I'm in the process of building mine, and I just want to start it now. I just want to get it going, and seeing you, the way you've gone about it, is sort of, you know, we sit there and we come up with ideas and stuff, and then a week later you're like, it's ready or it's done, sort of thing, and I'm just like, oh God, like I've been thinking about doing this for so long, and I've just been putting it off and putting it off, waiting for the perfect moment, going against everything that I say.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm good at sort of giving advice to people, but taking it myself, I'm terrible.
So hard to do though, isn't it?
Oh, it's so hard. So yeah, I'm doing it. I'm putting myself out there. So the next week or so, well, when's this coming out? A couple of weeks. So it might be up now.
Yeah.
It might be there now.
Yeah. We'll plug it at the end.
On Twitter and Instagram, I'm basically just Web Designer Joe. I've just made them. So I've got about 3 followers at the minute.
So you'll have 4 after this.
I'll have 4 after this. But the website will be there. It'll be up
after we finish recording, you'll have 7,000 after this, at least. Imagine.
At least.
Monetise straight away.
1% conversion rate on the podcast. Legend. So yeah, I'm getting it going. I'm doing it. I just don't want to regret not doing it. Exactly what you were just saying. I wish I started doing it properly a year ago. And I just never thought like my designs and everything were good enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now I've done it for Anna and I've done it for you, and you're happy with yours and everything, and you know, it's given me the confidence that I needed to just go for it and just do it and start putting it out there and start telling people and getting it going. So yeah, web design start, and hopefully go into, you know, email marketing for people and stuff. So I basically ghostwrite for Anna on Twitter and LinkedIn at the minute. So I've been doing that, and I enjoy doing that. I'm definitely a writer. This comes back to, you know, just start creating content and see what you like doing. I'm not a video guy. I've tried that in the past with my PTing, which is a whole other story, which we can dive into a little bit. But I've tried that, and I don't enjoy it enough to be consistent enough with it. Yeah, I'm not curious enough about being better at making videos to be consistent with it. But when it comes to writing, I enjoy that bit. It's therapeutic as well, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of sort of, it is cathartic to write, like getting your words onto paper or your thoughts onto paper. I found with sort of journaling and just writing lists, man. Just writing lists of things to do, chip them off. It stops the carnage in my mind. It stops like the fucking bouncy ball just going. But what you just said then about being, curious about something, like you've got to sort of feed your curiosity to see what you want to do. Like you've got to push yourself and think, just let's try it. But then as soon as like we've just said, then we've mentioned it a couple of times now. You know if you want to do it. You'll know if you immediately gel with something, and then you've got it. Then like if you've got that sensation, stick with it. Not necessarily give up straight away. You have to sort of work at these things a few times. But like I'm similar with videos too. Like I don't mind speaking on camera or being on camera, but this is where all credit to Anna and people in that sort of profession. It's fucking hard, man. It's so hard to just sort of script writing, just actually formulating something that is, quick, concise, like you said, gets the hook, call to action. I think people just overlook that. I think they look at you'll see it. I mean, you showed me the other week some of the shit that Anna gets on TikTok and you for being on TikTok. I think people just take it for granted about the effort that goes into these things because it looks effortless. And this is something I was saying on another podcast, was that it's like when we watch darts or snooker, you think, fucking hell, that looks easy. And then you go to a snooker club and can't get a break of more than fucking 4, and Rocket Ronnie's plugging in a 147. But because they make it look so effortless. Yeah. And
but there's a buy-in to that, isn't there? There's a 6 months of being of making it look effortful.
Yeah.
Like, people watch something, it's like, oh, bless. He's trying really hard at that. He's trying really hard.
Yeah.
And it's crap.
Yeah, he can't speak. Bless him.
So there is a buy-in, and that's just all part of it. That's part of, as a theme here, we've sort of set up today, no plan at all.
No.
But there's a theme of just
using a bin as or a laptop camera.
We are throwing this together.
We are trying our damage.
It's going right. How are we doing?
It's alright. Yeah, I think we're good. We'll see.
How long have we done now?
Yeah,
2 minutes.
I choked immediately, which was never happened before.
But yeah, there's a theme of just start, of just get going. I'm saying that as someone who hasn't just started and is trying to start now, has been just afraid of what people think.
Yeah.
If I put content out, that's like the number one thing of like me just not starting. And it's just going for it and finding your voice, finding what you want to say, finding what you want to create, because nowadays that's where it is, isn't it? I feel like there is a bit of an echo chamber about it, where that's where we spend a lot of our time. But I think if you can make sort of a little bit of a personal brand online, start getting a bit of attention about things that you care about, then that's only for the good. What negatives are there, really?
Yeah, exactly. And I've said it in the past about the people that will probably give you the majority of negative feedback in a situation like what we're putting ourselves in. There's not many people put themselves in. I know, you can look online and there's influencers everywhere and stuff like that, but that's an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Like, the percentile of the world who are actually doing that is probably quite low. But the people who are going to give the likes of us shit and sort of negative reviews and little snidey comments are probably people we've never met, will never meet, will never interact with. And that is just their life, unfortunately for them, where it's just, that's where they get satisfaction, is shitting on other people. But in the grand scheme of it, that person's opinion is useless to you. I mean, you have sort of people around you who you care about, they care about you. They're the opinions you should care about. And that's easier said than done. I'm fully aware of that, because, like I said, what happened to me a couple of months ago, with some fucking knobhead, just shooting for me, and that did bother me.
Yeah.
And I needed like a few days to sort of simmer down and not react. And but now I'm like, people never shoot for people below them. You know what I mean? Someone must feel threatened or not like it. There's something there for people you don't know or don't particularly care about to come after you. But the people you do care about, that's the ones, I think, in my opinion. So, like, you know, if you came to me and was like, this is shit, I'd be like, right, this is shit.
Yeah, but the people compared to people that care about you are never going to come and say, this is shit.
No.
They're going to say, you know, love that for you.
Yeah.
Doing the right thing. You thought about this.
Yeah.
You thought about that. You know, they'll be constructive. Yeah. But, you know, Barry, who left that review or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think he's called Barry.
Yeah. Well, not mentioned it. Yeah.
But, you know, who is he? Like, you know, and he was going around other people's.
Yeah.
And like, that's the life he wants to live. Fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can look at what other people have reviewed on Amazon. So if you leave shit reviews, be warned.
Coming for you.
Sorry, go on.
And then you're never going to be friends with them.
No, never.
You don't want to be around those people. And if it's someone who you thought was a friend that's giving you shit or slagging you off behind your back or whatever, then
they're not a friend, are they?
They're gone, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, that's how it is. That's how it is. And me, say, like, obviously I'm from North Wales originally. Moving to Liverpool, it's like opened up completely whole new perspective. That's why I love it there. There's so many people about. I've met so many people who just, you know, they give you a bit of, once you speak to them, you walk away and you're like, oh.
Yeah, you've got a bit of something from it.
You've got a bit of energy from it.
Yeah.
Whereas some people where it's like, you're back home, it's sort of enclosed again. Like it's a bubble, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, so it's just, there's definitely an element of stepping out your comfort zone, putting yourself out there. See who wants to come along for the ride and who doesn't.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because like obviously North Wales to Liverpool is a bit further than moving from Wigan to Ormskirk. I think mine's like 18 miles. So that is like, that then is still giving me sort of, and Ormskirk's not like, you know, Las Vegas or anything, it's not hustle and bustle, but to remove myself from the sort of...
It's like the people, you know, the place you should always go, all that. Again, echo chamber, where it's like you live in that bubble.
You're expected to be X, Y, and Z. If you're from X,
it's just the same opinions. Coming at you all the time. And it's, you know, and it's like, and again, you know, obviously your family and everything, and they might say, you know, do this because, say, your parents or whatever, they might be like, you know, why are you doing that sort of thing? There's no guarantees in it. There's no blah blah blah. You know, luckily enough, my parents are like, you know, go for it.
Yeah.
So, or for whatever I do, if I went to them tomorrow saying, I'm going to run a bin lorry, I want to run a bin lorry business, or, you know.
Going to become a top % OnlyFans male creator.
You know, I haven't put out one to them yet. How do you know that not already?
Well, spoiler. Link in the description.
3 to 5 days.
Bundles available.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but I know what you mean. Like, if you have that,
you know, I'm lucky enough that they'll be like, go for whatever, go travel, go see what you want. You know, do it all. But but some people are like, oh, you know, maybe you should be a doctor or this or that. Whereas like,
do something stable.
Yeah.
Do something. You know, reliable.
Yeah.
But
9 to 5, and you come home, you're not got to worry about anything.
Yeah.
All that, which is, you know, it's great. And there'll always be jobs like that, and there'll always be people who want to do that. But if you're someone who wants to do something a little bit different, try it. Maybe you're in your 20s like us, and we're just like, what is there to lose? Then have a go, isn't it? And give it a go. And don't. I always remember someone said it. I'm rubbish with this stuff, like attributing what people say to people. I don't remember who says things. It's always the Churchill thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Churchillian drift.
No.
So, like, every good quote ends up being attributed to Churchill.
Never heard that. No.
It's like every good quote ends up being, like, being a Churchill.
I thought it was going to be like Socrates or something, but
Churchill is like...
live, laugh, love, Winston Churchill.
Who said that last time on the beaches? Live, laugh, love, boys.
Live, laugh, love.
Oh my god. But yeah, it's like, what was I even saying now?
Winston. I bet all quotes coming back to you. Bad at attributing things to people.
What was I saying before that? I was on a good place then. That's gone. That is gone. Yes, no, that was a good quote. And I don't remember who said it, but he said, don't take advice from people who aren't where you want to be.
Yeah.
So no matter if that's your parents, your whatever, you know, just go for it and have a go.
You've got to sieve things out. You've got to.
Yeah.
You can't just sort of.
You can't take it all on.
You can't take it all on.
No.
You can't apply it all. Yeah. You've got to have sort of the mindfulness and the immaturity to find reoccurring issues or themes in these things. Mm-hmm. To like, right, well, 4 people have said that. So that probably needs flagging. But if one person goes, you're shit, you're a dickhead, well, there's nothing constructive there.
You'll feel it.
You'll feel it. It will pang. It will bother you. Like, I mean, you've been subject to it on TikTok, on Anna's TikTok, haven't you?
Yeah.
But like, there's nothing to it, is there? Like,
I'm quite good with that. Like, we laugh about it.
Yeah.
We'll literally sit there and scroll through it.
Yeah.
Laugh. Like, baldy is the main one.
Yeah.
Going with bald. Like,
oh, wow. God, I didn't know. But like, at first, did it bother you? Like, when the first time it ever happened?
I think there's been a couple. I can't remember what they said now. There's been a couple I've been like, you know. But, yeah, TikTok's horrible for that.
Oh, just cesspool, isn't it? But
it's horrible. Like, it's so good for getting attention, getting reach, just because how the algorithm works or whatever. You know, you can just explode all of a sudden. Like you were saying with Anna, she's had millions of views on some things, and they're like the most random stuff. Yeah. But the downside to that is it's just full of some weapons.
Yeah.
That just go about the day commenting just horrible things.
But they're provoking, aren't they? Like,
they want it.
They want you to be like, who the fuck are you calling baldy? Yeah. And then that's it. Then you give them that little fucking throb on for the day, and they're like, yes, got
But
one.
It's all engagement, isn't it?
Yeah, true.
All they're doing is pumping your post out there. So that's what we say.
Yeah.
So bring it home.
Bring it home. Call me baldy.
Always a favour.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, maybe I need some online haters to boost my algorithm.
Just tempt them out a bit.
Yeah. But you do see on social media and things like that the more sort of polarising things.
James Smith.
Yeah, James Smith, great one.
Example.
Yeah, Eddie Abdu.
Yeah.
Abu? I'm saying that wrong, sorry. Yeah. Don't make yeah, but, you know, them sort of people who go against, you know, the norm, have their own sort of, not agenda, but have their own way of doing it and sort of battle against what people perceive to be the standard. Yeah. So there's no in between. There's no middle ground. If you look on like the comment sections, it'd be like, "You're a legend. You are God," or "You are a dickhead." Yeah. And there's no like. No, I can see your point, but I disagree. No,
you can't be in the grey area, can you? Because you're not going to get followers from that.
No, it's not sexy, is it?
It's not. You know, you need the sieve where you put content out. You catch the people that you want there, who are like completely agree, amazing, follow.
Yeah.
And then it just filters out the people who like don't like you, who are never going to be your customer anyway.
Yeah.
But if you're in that grey area, you're not giving people enough reason to follow you and watch your stuff and all that.
I think that's I think that is from my own perspective and experience of recently doing this. That is probably the hardest thing to. And I am definitely. What's the word I'm for? I am definitely. What's the word I'm for? Like.
No idea.
I'm doing it, so like I'm sort of guilty. How the fuck did I forget the word guilty? This is what this does to you. This is literally what it does to you. Crumbled under pressure. Choking, crumbling. Can't remember guilty. Live, laugh, love. Winston Churchill. That is gonna stick, I think. So yeah, I'm guilty of that. I'm definitely guilty of not pushing it enough. You know, like,
well, it's just...
I think you initially start quite grey. I think you're not trying to fucking piss anybody off. You're trying to sort of cover all angles. But then, you know, as you evolve, like you say, you're still curious about it. You find your voice, like you said.
Figure out what your opinions are.
Yeah.
There's so many people who don't know what their opinions are.
No.
They have no idea.
Yeah.
Because they spend all the time on social media getting fed opinions from other people that they just spit back at others. And there's just no one who knows what their opinions are, and that's only going to get worse and worse because of the people. Like for me, social media, from a consumer side, like I hate it. I always feel rubbish.
Yeah.
If I sit there scrolling through it, I feel rubbish after. You know, you do just subconsciously, you know, compare yourself to others, even though you tell yourself not to. You just do, don't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Like subconsciously you do, and I just like afterwards, I just feel rubbish. But I love it from a producer standpoint. You know, I don't make anything for myself really. Obviously, I've been doing it for Anna and everything. I'm going to start to, but yeah, it's a great tool, but just don't be a consumer of it.
Yeah, and I think if you are going to be a consumer, you need to be mindful of the content you are consuming.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very easy thing to get down. Rabbit holes, follow people for the wrong reasons.
But people are so good at getting in that rabbit hole, aren't they?
100%. And then, you know, they're the ones who are fucking making moolah.
Yeah.
Because they've cracked
the
formula.
Like, the algorithm promotes that, doesn't it? Because all these platforms want you to do is spend more time on the platform.
Yeah.
Because they've got ads and everything like that, so they need to be seen. That's how they make money. The amount of time you're spending on that platform, basically. So whenever you're creating something, it's how can I make something that's going to keep someone on the platform?
Yeah.
That's why, you know, the percentage of how much of your video is watched or whatever, if people are cutting off after the first 10%, then they're not going to push that. But if you can hook them in, then it's going to be pushed because you're keeping them on the platform.
Yeah, retention.
So that's like the base of the algorithm, basically, isn't it? Really, engagement and all that. We've gone off from complete tangent now, haven't we?
Yeah, I don't even know where we was.
I don't even know where we was either. It's good though.
Yeah, just remembering about something that you said before, just because we completely lost what it was up to. Classically, I think, hear me out, that, you know, you were saying about that first 6 months being sort of where it looks like effort and it's something you struggle to, you know, you struggle to not find your voice, but it's building. The foundations aren't there. You have to build the foundation, you have to build the structure, and then blah, 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 compounding events. Failure is integral to that, though, isn't it? Do you think? I think you have to fail.
Yeah.
Like, you have to fuck up. You have to assess that, and you have to come back and be like, right, that didn't work because, bang, I'm going to do it again without trying what I thought made it fail. Right, it's failed again. So it wasn't that what was the issue. And then eventually, after 5-6 times, it's worked. But people are so scared of failing. Yeah. It's so ingrained in us.
It's built in.
Yeah.
To everything in it, to life. Everything. You will continue to fail, even after 6 years of doing something.
Exactly.
There'll be stuff you try and it will fail. Like, that's going to happen. But there's so I went to that Stephen Bartlett thing, didn't I? That speaking tour in Liverpool, and he said he's hired a head of failure. Like, his job is always like a head of experiments or something.
Yeah.
But his job is basically to try stuff, fail, learn, go again.
Yeah.
And they analyse it, so to see how many failures have we had this month, that month, and it's like going up. But then in line with that is the amount of successes and the amount of money they're making and the amount of views they're getting and everything. So the whole point was the only way to stay ahead of things is to fail and is to experiment. Because if you do something that's taken off, then
you've probably already missed
you missed it.
Yeah, you've already missed. Yeah.
So it's like having ideas, coming up with your own opinions, putting it out there, failing at it, and then
No, it's
your t-shirt inside out.
Is it inside out? Is it?
Yeah,
it is. Lad,
I was just noticed the label.
Well, we're having a real good start. I'm crumbling today, me lad. Stinker.
You've got to stick with it.
Stinker. Just for those who want to just check, there is a fucking big old label there. You know what? Star fuckers. So going against social. Exactly.
Daily.
Mark that down.
That might say that's Churchill. That
Churchill. Get on the phone to Stevie B. Tell his head of failure. Inside out shirts. Failure. Don't do that again. Yeah.
Let's not do that.
No.
Let's not do that.
I can't believe I'm wearing my shirts now. Well, I can, but yeah. Wow. Crumbled. Yeah.
That's the day for you.
Not the day. But I mean, so when you were sort of being around Anna and sort of seeing the, like the content creation aspect of things, going into your new sort of avenues and that, I feel like when you make content and that, it's very transferable to everything else. Like you learn how to sort of structure things and put things together. Is there like set routines that like not routines, but sort of a blueprint? So like when you made my website, you made Anna's website, you're making your own website. Is there sort of fundamentals to that like you follow? Is it like routine almost?
Yeah, definitely. It's so you can. It's like I was saying, the whole like hook story thing, call to action. That's something in my mind that's there. That's like the main basic template for anything I'll produce. So any tweet, Instagram, LinkedIn, email, landing page, anything like that, it'll follow that process. So with anything, it's like, what's the problem that needs to be solved, and what's the feeling or emotion that comes out of it when that problem is solved. It's not, I sell this is what's in it, like the features of it. So it's benefits over features. So I could put on my website, it will have this, but it's like, I'll do design, you'll get this many pages, bang, bang, bang. That's not the headline. That's not what you want.
No.
It's, level up your online presence, automate your sales.
Yeah,
so you haven't got to look at it. Have a professional looking website, and just that's very bland off the top of my head. But sitting down and think about it, what's the benefits of it. So that's before any piece of content. It'll be sort of that. But then in each bucket, it's, do you want to give value? Do you want to entertain? What do you want to give? Which needs to be sort of justified beforehand.
Yeah.
So then, but in that routine, then I find in the morning I'm more creative. So when I get up, I'll get up a bit earlier than Anna, and I'll have like an hour to myself, nice and quiet, and I'll sort of like write things down and stuff like that. And then that'll be sort of set for the day then. So that's my routine when it comes to writing. And then I'll get another burst in the evening. Then just during the day, I'm just
like a lull, recharge.
Yeah. Which I'll do emails and stuff like that. But in the evening, then I'll pick it back up and I'll design like websites and everything like that. Is that what you were asking?
Yeah, I think so. Because like going into the next bit of, that's something you recommended to me when I first started.
Yeah.
Was like, do it in the morning, get it done. It's done then. Batch it up, schedule it. Which is the best way to do it, definitely. Especially if you've got to juggle everyday responsibilities, another job, things like that, which we both have to do.
Yeah.
You've got to create these systems and these habits and routines to help and make you more efficient.
Yeah.
So, that was a big one for me when you told me about the mornings. So, when you get like your burst in the evening, what are you doing to, ensure you don't forget it? Because I know that I get the most random fucking sparks of inspiration and like ideas at the worst times when I've not got anything to write it down, or I'm driving or something like that. How do you combat that?
I have Notion. Which I've told you about a lot of times. Don't know if you're on it yet, but I'm on Notion, which is basically, I don't know if I'll show it now. So on my homepage, there, I'll don't know if you can see that. No, you can't see that. Notion. So basically on here, I've got like my day, every day.
Yeah.
So there's like this section, my web design section, but there's your site there.
Wow.
So say in that, I can go into that sort of folder, then I'll have a page all to do with Jack stuff, which I'll just bang stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the stuff for Feed Me Sister, for Anna, where I'll just get stuff in there. So it's all organised.
Yeah.
So all my thoughts
Yeah.
are in the right place,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
An extension of your brain.
Exactly, and that's what Notion's perfect for. Highly recommend it for anyone. You can get free templates for anything, so like client management and stuff like that. But I basically use it as a sort of advanced notes app.
Yeah.
Apple Notes is great. And it's never gone wrong with me and everything like that. But that Notion, like the ability to use different tables and everything,
Yeah.
I've got it all organised in there, basically. That's my system. That's my brain's second brain.
Yeah.
That's my second brain system where I can put it in, work things out, and just, a lot of it is rubbish. A lot of it is just like, I'll read back and it's like, I don't know what I was thinking about there, but...
Yeah, but if you're throwing off shit, some will stick.
Exactly.
And you've got to... Exactly. I found since writing things down, like, I know. We talk quite a lot, and I'll just FaceTime you at random times, I've been writing something down, but the actual sort of process of writing is quite sort of...
Helps it sink in as well.
And it also helps it develop. Yeah. It's like... It's almost like it's alive, like you've got this process where it grows as you're sort of getting it out of here onto there. You're like, shit, that as well. Because you can see it, it's actually something physical. Yeah. And I
ring you, don't I? I rang you, so like, you're on the sofa in there, it's just, you've got to take action straight away.
Yeah.
Speed beats everything.
100%.
Doesn't it? And that's what I've been guilty of again. It's just, I've not been fast enough to just get things going, but like, now I've come to realise more speed beats everything, whether that comes to writing something down, phoning you, sending that email, putting that application in for a job. Just do it. Just get it out there.
Yeah.
And the longer you linger on something, the more anxious you'll get on it, the more likely you're not to do it.
You build it up.
The chances are gone. And I remember probably Churchill said it.
Probably. Live, laugh, love.
But someone said, how can you make yourself as lucky as possible? How do you create your own luck?
Yeah.
So it's about just doing things and taking action. So go into that network event. Or maybe you don't want to go to the pub. So it could be go to the pub. Maybe you don't want to go, but you never know. You might meet that
the
person.
cafe, like you were telling me about before.
Yeah.
It's fucking mad.
Yeah. It's just, you've got to just go and put yourself in these scenarios, situations, sending your applications off, all that. The higher amount of volume that you do, the people you speak to on social media, more likely, the more posts you put out, the more likely something is going to hit. Something's going to happen. As long as you do all these things in the best interest and, it's
the right sort of...
Yeah, it's within your voice and you're authentic to actually what you do want, then something's going to click, isn't it? Something's going to happen. It's
very much at the start, and this is sort of counterintuitive, there'll be people going, dickhead, doesn't know anything, but it is quantity at the start. You have to churn it out, and then you can sort of refine that process back to quality then.
Yeah.
Because you can then reassess what you've done, sort of study it, and be like, X, Y, and Z has worked.
As long as you're doing that, though.
Yeah, you can't just sort of not hope.
Failure is feedback, but if you're not going to take the feedback, if you're just someone that's stubborn and you're not going to take the feedback, then you're never going to learn it, you're never going to get better.
That's something I've had to work on personally.
Oh, yeah.
Massively, because I'm such a stubborn prick. Like, I am. I will demand.
But it serves you as well.
Yeah.
You need a little bit of that.
Yeah, you need... I was chatting to someone on Twitter or X, however you perceive it, and they posted something about like wanting to win, being competitive is like one of the toxic traits.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is me. But you need that balance again. Balance is key. You need that in life, because like if you weren't competitive, like I'm self-competitive, I'm competitive with myself, but I'm also super competitive.
Yeah.
But I've had to work on that to sort of be like, that can just ruin nice altercations and like things like it's like there's this again. I'm doing probably Winston Churchill who said it, but there's this thing like think about who you would want to play a game with and like be that person. Like you're playing Monopoly with someone. Yeah. And like I want that 600 fucking Monopoly money off you now because I earn it. But there's someone that's like, look, you're 3 away from go.
Yeah.
I want that money after you've gone to go.
Yeah.
Like you're more inclined to be like, oh, I'll play with them, they're sound. Like, but if you're with someone who's going to be, there was always that knobhead when you played football or rugby.
Yeah.
And like, you were 7.
Yeah.
And he's like, fucking tackle him.
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, lad, he's 9 foot, he's 7-year-old. Like, how am I going to tackle him? Like, I'm not even. But, and you always remember that person for being like a crybaby bitch or a gobshite. But there's always the lad who was like, with you, who was decent, would talk to you. You might have little altercations with him every now and again. But like, he was always like, yeah, they were sound as fuck. And you remember people for the wrong thing. So like you've got to have that mindfulness to be like, am I the gobshite?
Yeah.
Or am I the one that is sound? Yeah, and I think you've got to have that sort of mindfulness to do that.
You filter people out when you do that. When you just act like you end up surrounding yourself with people that are more like you and everything like that. And you want to be the guy in your friends group that lifts people up, don't you?
Yeah.
But you can't surround yourself. You can't do too much of trying to lift people up because
you'll always be surrounding yourself with negative people who need lifting up. You need again. It's reciprocal, isn't it? You need to.
There was that study, wasn't there, where there was, I think it was like groups of 5, and they were studying how a negative person or someone just riding the coattails in a group of high performers, do they bring him up or does he bring them down? Yeah. So they basically did 1 negative with 4 positive, 2 and 3 and 2, blah, 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 blah. Every single one, the negative one, brought the levels down.
Yeah.
Brought the performance levels down. So high performers, low performers, they will bring you down. So even the 1 in the group of 5, he'll bring it all down. So it's choosing your friends, but choosing your friends in the right areas as well. Like, obviously, you're going to have mates that
don't align with your sort of end goal.
But you like spending time with
with your mates, and that's again, it's having that balance.
Everything then.
But that study you just said is interesting because it goes back to sort of the age-old sport proverb, probably Churchill, of you get dragged down to their level. Don't let them drag you down to your level. But it's never the underdog is playing up to their level. It's always the sure thing. The better team are always playing down to their level. Interesting.
Maybe this podcast, the study of Churchill or something.
Yeah.
Churchill pod.
The Churchill pod. I feel like I'm gonna.
Even though nothing we've said was Churchill.
Yeah. Nothing. But he said a lot. He said a lot
of good stuff. Yeah,
he did. Something I've never really gotten into is Churchill. I like history and that. I'm a big history buff. Well, I've got a fucking entire right side of my body tattooed with Greek mythology, so that's my shtick. But
it's never bothered me, to be honest.
Does it not? Like, not at all.
Not that much.
Nah, I fucking in school did history during World War II. Loved it.
Did you?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Didn't like writing about it. Shit at writing.
Really?
Loved it. Like Tudors, mate, like all that sort of shit.
Yeah,
I do.
I think I've just always been like techie, geeky, that sort of side.
So if you was always techie, answer me this question. I've never asked you this.
Go on.
If you was always techie, what got you into sport?
Because I was always sporty as well.
God, you're a full package, aren't you?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, tell you what, in school, so like high school, it was like, I wouldn't say I was like mates with everyone, but I was that one that I didn't have like one specific.
Yeah, I was like that. You can sort of, well, not in high school, no, I was sort of like below average and in between is sort of hard. But like with college and that, and getting older, you can you don't have a sticking point, do you?
No.
You can sort of float between it. That's a good tool to have.
It was good, like, you know, without blowing my own trumpet or whatever, but high school I found like fairly like easy, like grades wise, studying wise, everything like that. So I was in with sort of like the maths crew, science crew, like, and then the sport, like I was in the football team and stuff like that. And so I was just sort of like floating around with multiple different people in different areas. But the thing is as well, I went to primary school in Rill, so all my mates were like Rill based and everything. But because my sister went to Abergele, my older sister, I ended up going to Abergele, which is like 15-minute drive, sort of 20-minute drive sort of thing to go to school in the morning. So I didn't go to Rill High, so it was sort of, there was 3 of us from my primary that went to that high school, so it was completely new sort of people.
Yeah.
But then after school, obviously, I'd go home.
And still soothe.
But no, not really, because it was like, you sort of grow away from them, because they were like the school group. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Back then, it wasn't like I could get the phone out and just message them on whatever.
Yeah.
You know, it was like you organise it in school, don't you?
Yeah. Ring the landline.
Or you just don't go home.
Yeah.
Or you just knock on their house.
Yeah.
So it was like I'd come home, and that's when like the techie side started.
Yeah.
Because I was like the original iPad kid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not going to go back to Abergele.
No.
You know, which would like get like 2 buses to get there or something.
Yeah.
Like, not do that. So I was at home like learning loads of different things, and like I saved up and bought the iPad 2.
Yeah.
So I was like literally
showing our age here, lad.
Yeah,
2. Well, I know 38 or something. Something like that.
But so then I'd go out and like, I'm still active and stuff. I'd go out, I'd a little BMX, and I'd just peg it around everywhere. Like, there's a couple of different parks. So I'd go to like the park, see who's about, no one's about, right, sound.
Do a tail whip.
Yeah. Backflip. And then I'd go to the other one, do a tail whip there, see if anyone's about. And then, there's no one about there. I'll just be like, right, go for a little run, go home, and then I'll just be at home chilling. And then I used to watch MKBHD. You want him on YouTube? He's like the best tech reviewer ever. This is me geeking out.
That your inspiration, no?
Oh, he's such a legend. He's so good. So good. But he used to review like the hardware and the software and everything like that. And I just
I'm gonna embarrass myself here.
Go on.
Tell me the difference between software and hardware. Not a fucking clue, lads. Is it on a floppy disk? Is that what it is?
So floppy disk would be like hardware. So
because it's hard.
That's hardware. So the hardware of this is the camera.
Yeah.
So it would be like how many megapixels it is and all that.
Yeah.
It's the chip inside. It's the battery. It's all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The software can be updated. So the software is
like iOS 17.
That's the software.
Yeah.
So the software for the camera would be the effects and stuff that you can apply to the camera that makes it better and stuff like that. And that'll all be updated. It's like the user interface.
Right.
Yeah. So hardware, you'd literally have to unscrew the back and swap things out.
Yeah.
Software can be downloaded.
Right. Makes sense.
Get it?
Yeah.
Because it's soft.
Softy.
So he'd be reviewing all that, and I'd just be like,
yeah.
You know, so that's like,
that's what got the juices flowing.
Yeah, and that's always been me a lot more, I'd say. And then like I got into sport and stuff. I ended up with like sway back posture. Like my posture's not great now. And then I went to a physio quite young who sorted it out, and I was like, oh, it's amazing. Like I want to be a physio. Basically didn't become physio. Ended up doing sports science in uni, and I just followed that path. I just got in with sport, really. I was never like mega passionate about it. I was still like a geek at heart, and then ended up becoming a PT just to sort of make some money in that. And I've been doing that for like 5 years now, and now it's the time where I'm just a bit
ready to move on.
Yeah, I feel like I've done it.
Yeah,
I've had a go at it, and I've done it, and
it's not something you can imagine yourself doing when you're 60.
No.
No.
Like I went and did my masters in strength and conditioning and everything, and I could have moved on to different sports teams, like a lot of my course mates have, but it wasn't there in the end. Like I went and did all that, so I've struggled with that.
Yeah.
I've clung on to it.
Yeah.
The sunk cost fallacy.
Yeah.
I've clung on to it because I've invested all this time and obviously money into it. And so I've just been clinging on to it, trying to make it work, building online stuff, even though that's all failed because my heart wasn't in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't failing, like it was working, but I just naturally stopped it because it's just my heart wasn't in it. And that led me to web design then.
Yeah.
Because, say, for like the training method stuff, all that, I was building websites for it, and I was like...
Yeah, because I remember you telling me about you started doing coding courses.
Yeah.
Things like, fucking coding, mate. And I was like, what?
Oh, yeah.
But, like, you could see immediately, like you was passionate. Yeah, like you're right. If you speak to someone about when they're passionate about something, I think personally you just know. You just can see, like, not being like all fucking hippie and who doing that, but literally their energy changes. They just sort of switch.
I believe it.
Yeah.
100%. And it's, so reflecting, learning, experimenting, failing, looking back, what did I like, what did I dislike? I like setting it up. I like making the logo. I like building the website. I like learning about how to structure it to sort of make sales for you. I liked, so that's what I'm doing now.
Good.
That's what I'm going for.
Love it.
And see where it takes me. I will fail.
Yeah,
at
you will.
some things. I will try new things. I will, and like what me and Anna were saying, it was like we want to travel and stuff. We want to, she's got the business in a good place now where, hopefully soon we'll be able to sort of run it from anywhere. Like we've been like working hard on that and pushing for new clients and everything. And I want to make something as well that's like that. Yeah. So I see how much joy it brings her.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I want that.
Yeah. And
I want a slice of that cake.
Yeah, it comes back as well to say, like, my mum, she worked so hard, like, still is now, but she'd come home, she'd just be like, just, never a fan of work.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. And then, like, my dad, he did really well in BT, but he'd be, like, stressed out a lot, I think. That's what I think. And he'd work from home in his home office, and you could tell it would be on his mind afterwards and everything. So, yeah, it's like, I was put me off a bit. So I want to try, like, my own stuff before, Yeah,
I think you're right.
That's what we, like, slag them off.
No, but you've had experience. You've had sort of experience without having the experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've seen it and you've been
it's
around
lesson
it.
That they teach me.
Yeah, and like I'm in a similar position, with my mum and dad and that, and the dad's supportive as well, which is great and super helpful, and pulling me out of shit if I ever find myself in there.
Yeah.
But like they've said, like from them and sort of their jobs and that, you get an understanding of, like fucking. I tend to think that I'm quite stubborn at work, and I'm stubborn because I'm not trying to let people walk all over me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a bit of a people pleaser, which I know is one of my. I think I'm a lot better at it. Like, I struggle to say no. So that was like one of them things that, again, probably Winston Churchill, can't remember who said it, but it was like, as soon as you learn to say no, it's one of the most empowering things that you can do. And like, it is. It so is, because I've got myself in, especially in work, in different jobs I've been in, I've got myself in situations just by feeling like I have to say yes, giving myself more workload, and then bringing work home with me and being like, oh, fucking hell, is it worth it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, the only thing that, like, my job is, I like my job. It's very rewarding. I work with people, and it's sort of where I would have liked to have been. If I was speaking to sort of 17-year-old me, 18-year-old me, and I sort of said, this is what it could be like, I'd be like, yeah, it'd be a good gig for somebody who never went to uni, did a BTEC in drama, and like, I'm not academic whatsoever. But yeah, I've just sort of, I've got myself into a position now where I'm like, I should try and do something like what you and Anna are doing as well. And this is part of where I can sort of be in charge of my own decisions and not feel that like the only person that's going to walk all over me in this is myself. So yeah, and I just
that's
thought,
great to have.
It's great to have, but sort of gone off my
and
initial
there's some
point.
exciting things in the pipeline.
Yeah, definitely. We have. Yeah, but I think that's right. I think you learn them lessons from your parents and sort of.
But you've got to learn it yourself as well.
Yeah, yeah, and I have.
We have.
Yeah.
We're like, getting to a point. The thing is, well, it's like the amount of things cost nowadays.
Oh, man, I know.
It's a joke, isn't it?
Yeah, like
Even
even
supposed to enjoy stuff when it's like literally all your money has to go on like bills and that. Just it costs a bomb. So it's like you've got to have either a side hustle or your own business now.
Yeah, or have a job that pays extremely
really well in uni that leads like being a doctor or something where it's like you do that course then you become a doctor. No, it's not some now.
But even that's like planting the seed of the tree.
Yeah,
you're not going to see it fucking
to reap the rewards.
Yeah, you're not going to reap the rewards until 10 years. When the fucking apples are finally falling off it. But you've got to sort of be in that process where you're like, God, that tree's not growing very fast.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, you've got to. Yeah, and like I said, I do like my job. Don't get me wrong, but it's not something that.
It's not what you want to want.
Yeah, it's not what I could see in myself.
It's missing something.
It is. There's something there, which I think we all probably feel that. I think there's a little bit of sort of ego in it as well. That you're like, surely I could do better.
Well, it's like it's not necessarily doing better. It's just like we work in a great place with great people. We're very lucky. Some people come to work today who just like, oh my God,
like, don't get any enjoyment from it whatsoever, as we do. Which was a blessing,
which is great. But there's something more aligned with what we want, sort of thing. It's not necessarily like better.
It's
just like what we want to do, what we want to spend our time doing.
Yeah,
do we want to travel at the same time? And,
it's freedom, isn't it? It's choice.
Exactly.
And I think you see a lot of these things that like people want money. Not necessarily. I'm not speaking for people here, but from what I see, people want money because it then allows them to have choice.
Yeah.
Rather than being tied to the bills, doing this, doing that. But if you had the money won't bring you happiness. It'll bring you choice to be happy or not. I think. Obviously, I've got no money, so I don't know. But
that's what we think.
That's what we think. Yeah, that's good.
It's what was I going to say then? Yeah, let's go in now.
I was talking before, and I was like, I can't remember why I started this conversation.
I was going to say something then.
Churchill.
I think it was a Churchill, probably. No, that was it. So for me, it's like I just don't want to regret not having a go.
Yeah,
that's like the biggest fear for me. Is like, I didn't give it a crack.
My dad always said to me, very philosophical of you, Martin. My dad as well. He's like, don't die wondering.
Oh,
he's like, big up Martin, but he was like, don't die wondering.
I love little things like that.
Yeah. And I don't even think he intended to be as fucking philosophical and hard hitting as he was, but I think he said that to me when I was like 17.
Yeah.
Just driving one day. It's just never left.
Next time you got.
Yeah. Of course, my neck.
Yeah. And there's that, like James Smith says it, like his dad said it to him, said like, he basically always says, you're a long time dead.
Yeah.
You're a long time dead, son, sort of thing, and that's true, isn't it?
Does it freak you out, that?
It's gonna happen.
It freaks me out.
Does it?
Wakes me up at night.
Does it?
Does it? Like, it freaks me out bad. There's been times where I've been sat there, or like lying in bed, and I'm like, one day, it panics me. I'm like, one day.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. It will.
God, yeah, it will. But you've got to also have that in mind. Believe it. If you didn't know, kids, you will die. Sorry. Yeah. But you've got to let it fuel you as well.
Yeah, it does for me, I think.
Yeah, I'm better for it now.
Yeah, I do think about it a bit. I do think about it quite a bit, but I think more just makes me get up and do stuff. I don't really panic about it because hopefully it'll be a while away, but...
Yeah.
But also thinking the fact that it could be tomorrow.
That's freaky. That's scary shit, that. You know, like a good... obviously, I'm not a parent. You're a parent. But do you... They always say, like, you never think about your mortality until you're a dad.
Yeah.
Like, is that true?
Yeah, a bit. But also gives you, like, a sense of... It gives you sort of a sense of freedom, but also a sense of massive responsibility.
Yeah.
Where it's like the freedom side is like, right, I don't even matter that much anymore. Like Harley does.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not the biggest cog in your machine anymore.
Before, like to you, really, no one matters more to you than you. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to look after yourself.
Obviously, you neck, obviously. You'll be getting a text, not me.
But when it comes to survival, she can look after herself.
Yeah.
You know, and you got to look after you, and you're both going for what you want. Which is brilliant. You got this lovely house and everything, and but like
the shift,
another level. So it's like I just don't like matter anymore. But then there's that sense of responsibility where it's like I need to put my ideas up and get this going, sort of thing.
Get my shit together.
Yeah, and then there's the sense of motivation where it's like you're doing it for them, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which is another thing for me, where it's like I want to be able to be freer so I can
spend more.
You know.
Makes complete sense. I mean,
you know what I mean? But I wouldn't say the mortality thing so much. It's not like...
No. You don't worry about it.
No. It's not something I think about too much.
Yeah. Maybe it's just me.
I think it's just you, mate.
Wakes me up at night.
Yeah. He's scared. Is that what you sleep apnea?
No, well, fucking...
Bit of both.
Yeah, bit of both, lad. When I stop breathing. Because of my fat neck. I don't want to die.
I completely forgot that this is on, by the way.
Yeah, I had a look a minute ago. I keep remembering that I've got.
So is it?
Inside, it's 25 to. I've got a bit of time.
Right, I need to go for a wee anyway. To be honest.
Right, well, I'm gonna try and follow suit because this isn't like anything I've done before. But we're gonna try and re-get it back into the structure of the podcast of what free habits or routines that as a dad, as a job, side hustle extraordinaire, starting your own business, what are free habits or routines that are integral to you being successful? Pressure.
Don't go on social media in the morning.
Love that.
Don't scroll. I create my content like in Notion and stuff like that, so I haven't got to touch it because that just puts me on the back foot straight away.
Yeah,
you're reacting instead of acting. Don't want that. So no social media in the morning. Preferably, like half. I've got this counts as the same habit, but I've got the 45-minute timer limit.
I know I was talking about that.
Yeah, I've got 45 minutes a day on Instagram and allowed. So no social media in the morning. That's a big one for me. Otherwise, I'm not creative. Rest second. Rest as hard as you work.
Love that.
I think when people say that they're resting,
they're
like scrolling on socials or they're thinking about work.
They're not switching the mind off.
They're not completely switching off. Whatever it is you like doing, if you like watching Netflix, watch Netflix. Make sure you spend some time outside.
Yeah.
Walk into one for me. Sometimes you just got to go for a walk. But rest as hard as you work.
Fuck grind culture. That's what fucks me off. If there's anything, in my opinion, fuck grind culture. Yeah. Don't listen to sleep when you're dead. Yeah. All that bollocks.
Yeah.
Fucking burnout is real.
You got to enjoy your life.
You can't just be fucking...
yourself. Like, we're in our 20s now. There's that whole thing where it's in 40 years' time, you'll give everything you've ever earned just to be this young again, this healthy again, and all that. Yeah. But anyway, that's the second one. Make sure you rest, and rest as hard as you work. And then the third one Third habit.
People always struggle with a third, you know.
Do they?
Always.
What's yours?
What are my 3?
Yeah, just reel them off.
My first one would be avoid social media, doom scrolling, because I get so engulfed in that. Exercise.
Yeah.
I need to do something.
Exercise.
Yeah, I'm a lazy active person. Okay, and now you're thinking that's bollocks. That doesn't exist. It does exist. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
So I like to train relatively hard to like send myself into a cave of like, am I gonna die? That anxiety comes back. Yeah. But then I don't like doing anything else after that. So like, I want to come home. I want to sit with dogs.
Yeah.
I want to play Stardew Valley on my Nintendo Switch, and I want to watch telly. But beautiful. That to me
is that what you enjoy doing?
That is the one. That is up there in my perfect day structure.
Yeah.
But
love that.
But yeah, I do try and get out more. I think getting outside is important. I've been trying to do that a lot more lately. So try and avoid social media as much as I can would be 1. 2 would be exercise, and 3 would be fucking prioritise sleep, man.
Yeah, sleep.
Because I am a terrible sleeper. I had insomnia when I was younger, and it was honestly the worst fucking... Yeah, it was awful. And then from that point on, the only reason I'm a better sleeper is because of Nick, because in a past life, she was a cat, 100%, because she could sleep. The longest I've known her to sleep for is 16 hours.
Really?
That's not even a joke, mate. I thought she was dead.
Wow.
And, like, she'll back that up. If you don't believe me, she'll back it up. But, mate, I used to, when we first got together, I'd go round and, like, I'd be, like, staying over, and I'd be, like, watching YouTube till, like, 3 in the morning, just to, like, try and sleep. And me, I was just like, oh, I'm a bad sleeper. Yeah, that is a part of it. I've got fucking sleep apnea and shit like that. Lol. But it was my habits. It was my habits around sleep. Like, I just created this very negative cyclical routine of that. And then once I started breaking that because of Nick getting better, I'm still not the best. But since aiming to get better sleep, I feel mental clarity, like just generally a better person. If you have a shit night's sleep, you feel shit.
Yeah.
If you have a good night's sleep, you feel
different.
Yeah.
I had 10 hours last night.
Bastard.
It was unreal. I needed it as well.
Yeah.
I had about 6 and I had 4, but
yeah,
I went to sleep literally like 10 to 8. So
love that.
it was so good.
Yeah.
My third, thought of it now. I think getting in the habit of just not taking himself too seriously.
Love that. I wish that was mine. Bastard.
That's what I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
I think the other 2 I'm pretty good at.
Mm.
The one I'm working on right now is like my mentality. It's not taking myself too seriously. It's like freeing myself up. So I am very heady. I like the iPad kid. I'm very good on my own. I like my own space. I like my own time. That's why I've got to get up before Anna, because I need my hour in the morning to just be on my own.
Restart the computer.
Yeah, but it's like
it's funny because
I can at times just rattle.
Yeah, it's funny because you're sort of describing maybe someone who's sort of an introvert, but knowing that you're not, like you are an extrovert.
100% I'm an introvert.
You don't. Well, to me, you don't. I'm an extrovert.
So this is what PT has given me.
Yeah.
This is what 5 years ago you wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
Swear to God. 5 years ago, I'm terrible at speaking to people. You know, I'm not the best now still, you know, but PT has forced me. You should see me when I was about to do my first spin class, mate.
Yeah.
I nearly ran out of there.
Arsehole, 5p, 50p.
Oh my God, like 30 people in a room. Oh my God. And I had to shout at them. Oh God, I nearly just collapsed. But that has given me the ability to communicate, which I'm very grateful for. Like, I've learned a lot from PT.
Yeah. Social skills.
Yeah, it's really helped me in that way, because I naturally am introverted.
Yeah.
After this, I'm going to need half an hour.
Just to decompress. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I do need that. Like, after being in the gym all day, working with people and everything,
your social battery drains. Yeah.
And that's the difference. People think introvert and extrovert people are just loud and everything, but it's energy, isn't it?
See, I get energy from this.
You get energy.
I get energy from it.
Being social,
conversing.
being in front of people. Like I
need to one of them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As much as I've enjoyed it.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah.
class, and I love this. Like, I don't know, I really like this format.
Yeah.
Where we just.
Yeah. I'm. This is the first in-person one I've done.
Yeah.
I've enjoyed it.
If you've made it this far, well done.
Yeah, well done. This
I
has
don't even
been
know what we've said.
fucking carnage, man. But I've thoroughly enjoyed it. This is definitely going to be the start of something, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Jack and Joe.
Yeah.
Hour of
the average JJs.
The average JJs. Well, I was thinking of calling a website thing Average Joe's website.
Do it. Yeah.
I think that sounds good though.
Yeah. I took this idea of average insert name, so all rights reserved to this gentleman. Yeah. He told me that after Photo Guinness, and after that point, I was like, "That's sick as fuck."
But it's just good concept. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Because all the podcasts we all listen to are like Doctor Thingy, or this guy built a £10 million empire.
Yeah. But
it's like
£4 million web funnel.
Yeah,
wow, I didn't do that.
Yeah, just want to talk to some normal geezers and be relatable.
Yeah.
To where we are right now, because even though we're speaking about all this is stuff that we are battling with now.
Yeah.
Trying to achieve. We're both at the beginning of whatever we are trying to achieve.
Yeah, and this is sort of the idea of the podcast. Is the idea of this podcast is to show people that we're all going through similar shit and that there should be some sort of solace in the fact that that's true. Right. That we're all in similar scenarios.
We're very average Jack and Joes.
We are. But there's nothing wrong with that. Last one before we have to get you to work.
I need we as well.
What you've sort of covered it. It was a natural segue, but then we got carried away again. One habit or routine that you would love to put into your daily life or whatever, or one habit or routine that you did that you'd like to bring back.
Meditating.
Yeah,
I'm on and off with it.
Yeah, I am.
I did it in the morning. It was great.
Yeah.
And I felt amazing. But it's hard to get a consistent good one.
Yeah. I found with cold water, you have to meditate to get through it.
Yeah. See, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do the cold water.
I'm one of them.
Yeah. I love in the morning, in the hour, in the morning, 20 minutes of just like, this is not sat on the floor, like cross all that stuff.
That's what I was saying. People think,
like this chair's perfect. I could just sit here, I cross my hands like that. And I just go, and it's just the day is noticeably better. It is 100% noticeable. It's not like all the woo-woo stuff. It's just sort of deep breath, getting in your body, clearing my mind. I do like weird stuff in mind. I picture a whiteboard.
Yeah.
I picture a whiteboard. Yeah, so there. I do 20 deep breaths, 4 in, 4 out. Look at this practical tip.
Here we go.
Practical tips. So 20 deep breaths, 4 in, 4 out. And then I learn, if you just imagine feel your toes, so just staying still, but feel your toes, and then work your way up, ankles,
scanning,
knees, scanning your whole body, boom, 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 down very relaxed. And then I picture like my brain getting washed out with like water. There's water in there, being washed out. Then I have a whiteboard. I picture a whiteboard, like it's here.
Yep.
Yeah. And on it is how I'm feeling.
Like that?
In like a whiteboard pen.
Yeah.
So
what colour?
If I'm feeling anxious, red.
Oh. Did the colour change? No.
Wait for it.
Did you wait for it?
Wait for it, yeah. So on it, so if I'm feeling anxious, it'll say anxious in red pen. Up there, stressed or whatever. Yeah. And I wipe it out, not with me hand.
For those who aren't watching, he's not opened his eyes for about 4 minutes.
So I'm trying to get this.
No, it's fine. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
Right, so I imagine myself wiping it wiped out, so I've got a clear whiteboard. And I'm like, I feel better now. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it?
Yeah, but if it works, it works.
It's so weird. And I get my green pen out.
Yeah.
Then I write down how I want to feel today.
Love it.
How I want to feel. So I'm getting intentional with how I want to feel and how I don't want to feel. It's simple as that sometimes, isn't it? Just recognise it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's always calm, productive, and focused. So sort of just one task at a time, sort of thing, because I can get scrambled everywhere. But one task at a time. So I've done my whiteboard, lovely. That's me 10 for the day. So I always remind myself of that throughout the day, and then just carry on deep breathing and just let my mind go wherever it goes. sometimes I've got to bring myself back to the breathing and let it go again. You know, you've always got to bring yourself back.
Yeah.
People think, you know, you just clear your mind and you're gone, but your brain does go. So you go, right, okay, that's a thought. You get good at doing that, recognising that you've just had a thought, going, okay, pull out of there and just come back.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, just sort of managing your mind.
100%. And it's being mindful. That sounds stupid.
Made that on the internet.
Yeah. I'm glad you did. I'm glad you did, because it's actually very practical. I feel like people will get a lot from that. A little, but it was good.
That's just my way.
Yeah.
Everyone will have their own way.
Exactly. Like mine is just, I like sit down, I like do the scanning technique.
Yeah.
And then I try and not let anything in, because it's already too much in there.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to switch it off. Just like, yeah. And then when the thought comes in, it's like when you go outside at night and your sensor light comes on, it's like shocks me a little bit. I'm like, right, no, get back out. But I like that. I might try the whiteboard. Joe Baker's whiteboard technique. Yeah.
Patented.
We need to get you to work.
DVD coming soon.
DVD.
We do, yeah. But I've now said it a few times.
Ask me for a piss.
I'm getting there.
Right, plug yourself and then go for a piss.
Web designer Joe, I think it is. Just
maybe check.
Recently. Let's double check that. Don't be following other people, not me. At web designer Joe on
we'll
X
link it.
And Instagram. There's not much going on there at the minute, but I'm starting to put more. It'll be all my designs, everything I make, portfolio stuff, any tips for people wanting to build their own website, grow their online sort of presence. That will all be going on there. So all that good stuff. And website coming soon that will be announced.
If you want to see some of his work,
out already.
Check out my
UK,
because it's sick, because he did it and it's good.
Sister.com.
That one as well. Man, pleasure. Thank you very much.
Loved it, mate. Enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Let's do it again soon.
An hour and 20 minutes of pure waffle. Loved it. It was good, that.
I like that.
That was probably my